Hello everybody, this is part 2 of my Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask glitch showcase. In my last video we looked at some pretty crazy glitches that let us do some pretty crazy things. However, there are still many more glitches in this game, so the fun's not over yet. Now, I did say this in my last episode, but I feel I should reiterate just in case you're watching this one first. I'm playing on the Collector's Edition version of the game on GameCube. While I'm almost certain that all the glitches I'll be showing in this video can be done on any version, if they can't, then perhaps that's why. Lastly, I'm capturing the video directly from the AV output of a Nintendo GameCube, so that means the resolution will be stuck at 480p and the aspect ratio will be 4:3. Hopefully that's not too much of a problem, but with that said, let's look into some more glitches in Majora's Mask. Okay, let's get some of the small glitches out of the way first. When you try to pick up the rock Sirloin in Goron's Shrine as Human Link, the option to pick it up simply won't appear, so you have to be Goron Link to pick it up. As Goron Link, carry it all the way to Mountain Village and, while still holding it, fall into the body of water here. You'll void out and respawn as Human Link, but now you'll be carrying the rock Sirloin. Even though Link is shorter in human form than in Goron form, he can still throw the rock Sirloin up to this hungry Goron. Strangely enough, he has different dialogue for your non-Goron form, despite the fact that it should technically be impossible to give him the Sirloin without being a Goron. This next glitch is helpful for platforming. Pull out a bomb and stand on a ledge, then just wait for the bomb to explode. The knockback will make you jump way farther than normal. Now, in every tutorial I've seen, they tell you to hold forward just before the jump. However, I figured out that you can just stand there and it will still work. I don't know of many areas where this will be useful, but I do know that it can be useful in this grave under a Kana graveyard to get to the other side. For a long time, Link was notorious for not being able to do a grounded jump, but with a little glitch we can get him to do just that, although it's not very big. Pull out a bomb and drop it, then roll into it and press A while you're rolling. When Link stands up, he should freeze. Then just wait for the bomb to explode and shield it. If you can't use items or your sword, then you know you got it right. All you need to do now is backflip and Link will jump up. Keep in mind that this is a one-time use glitch, so if you want to jump again, you'll have to do this all over again. Using this trick, you can gain enough height to get to areas that were just out of reach. The jump is pretty small though, so it won't help too much, as most areas that are just out of reach usually have a legitimate alternative to get there, but I'm certain that it has its uses. I find it funny how, with these last two glitches and bomb hovering, in this game bombs have more uses as tools for jumping around than actually blowing stuff up. I'm gonna be honest and say this next glitch is pretty useless. If you press B at the same time as you press the button the Great Fairy Sword is set to, you'll do a charged spin attack. This is entirely useless as this method uses magic and takes about 3 seconds to do. The alternative method is just to spin the control stick in a circle and press the C button that the Great Fairy Sword is on. This will do an instant charge spin attack and use no magic whatsoever, so why you'd ever want to do the other method is beyond me. Did you know that Zora Link can fly? He's not supposed to, but with a glitch we can get him to do just that. Go to a somewhat leveled shore, then quickly tap A to swim towards it, and right as you're about to leave the water, turn around and tap A again. If you did everything correctly, you'll be flying above the water. In order to stay in the air, you have to tap A repeatedly. If you just hold A, you'll slowly glide back in the water and undo the glitch. And of course, if you stop pressing A altogether, then you'll just fall back into the water. Using this glitch, we can get to the fairy fountain without the hookshot. Fly to this island here and grab the ledge to get on it. I found out that you can also swim up to the island as Human Link, then transform into Zora Link while holding forward, and Zora Link will be high enough to grab the ledge that way. Once on the island, get ISG and bomb hover to the next island, then blow up the rocks and you're in. So originally I had a script for this segment, but I didn't think it did a good enough job expressing exactly how I felt about this glitch, so I'm just gonna try to ad-lib it. Hopefully it doesn't sound too terrible, but yeah, here we go. So before I actually show you how to do the glitch, I think I should briefly explain how the glitch works. So yeah, here we go. In Majora's Mask, all 5 of the Great Fairy Fountains exist in one map. They're all lined up adjacent to each other. However, only the one you're in is visible. But all the collision and loading zones for all 5 of the Great Fairy Fountains are all loaded at one time. So this means that if we get out of bounds in one fairy fountain, we can travel to the one adjacent and use its loading zone to end up somewhere completely different. So in the example that we use, for instance, we start off in the Great Bay Fairy Fountain, then we get out of bounds and we go to the left, and after a few moments we end up in the Ikana Canyon Fairy Fountain. But it's just invisible though, because only the one we were in actually has the textures loaded. But yeah, so if we leave through the loading zone in the Ikana Canyon one, then we emerge in, well, Ikana Canyon. So essentially we warped ourselves from Great Bay to Ikana Canyon. So that's all this glitch is supposed to be, just a little warp trick. Now, I don't know if I just suck or what, but this glitch ended up taking me just over an hour to get right. But before I get into what was screwing me up, here's kinda how it's supposed to look. So, as Zora Link, you wanna get up to this wall here, target it, and then backwalk, and then backflip onto the platform. Then you're gonna wanna get first person view and angle yourself like this. Then you're gonna wanna hold forward and roll, and Link should jump. And in that jump, you wanna hold forward and to the right. And once you're on top of this pillar, you're going to want to turn back into a human Link, and then you're going to want to get ISG on a bomb, because we're going to have to do some bomb hovering. Now, that first part where you're jumping onto the pillar is super freaking hard. That's just the first part, and it took me like 15 minutes just to get that, and that's why I'm just kind of standing here, honestly. I'm like so relieved that I got up here, so I needed a breather. But once you're up here, you want to angle yourself around like that. Like, this is a pretty good angle. And then from there, you're just going to want to start hovering. I think at first you want to use Bomb Chew because it's faster. But once you get near a wall, you have to use normal bombs. Oh, I guess I just use normal bombs. But yeah, so I just keep backflipping. And around here, when the camera zooms back up, you're going to want to start side hopping now, because you want to go to the left. Now I keep side hopping, and then I fail. You see, in this particular clip, what I did wrong is I didn't get enough height in the backflips. I mistimed the bomb hovers, and I didn't get high enough, so I ended up falling into the void. And that really just got me upset. Like, here it's sped up footage of me just not wanting to play the game anymore. But yeah, let's get into what was really messing me up in all my earlier attempts. So, I don't know if this is angle perfect, pixel perfect, or what, but it feels like it's really, really precise, because like I felt like I was just off by a little bit most of the time, and if you're off by just a little bit, Link will just fall like this, and you can see I would have multiple attempts of me just trying to get this glitch right, but it just wasn't working. And then there's this time where I don't even do the setup, and I just kind of eyeball it, and I thought, that's good enough. And I got him to jump, and I was holding to the right so that he can grab on, but he just didn't want to grab on, which is weird. And then to make things even weirder, there's this, where I got the angle right, but then he didn't grab on a ledge, he just kind of clipped on, and because I thought he was supposed to hang on the ledge, I kept holding forward, but then I jumped off because of that. But like, yeah, it's dumb, like look at this. This is just weird. So yeah, I got really tired of all this crap happening, so I decided to try my own method. Remember how in the last episode I said that if your timing is good enough with Bomb Chew, that you can pretty much bomb hover anywhere? However, if you're quick enough and use 2 bombs, or 2 Bomb Chew, with good timing, it is possible to hover without being near a ledge. So it means you can basically hover just about anywhere. So I figured I would do just that. I mean, you're only getting on top of the pillar to bomb hover anyway with enough height. So I figured if I just started my bomb hover far enough away, I can do it. So anyway, I got ISG, I angled myself like this, and then after a few attempts, because I didn't really have the timing down, but I eventually got it. Like in this clip right here, I eventually do a backflip, another backflip, and there I am. So after that, I figured I can just start bomb hovering, and it was working. I was getting enough height, and then right here, the camera zooms out. Then this is where you start side hopping, so then I did some side hops. And after a bit, the background changed colors, and I finally got it right. Like, I didn't even know really what to do anymore, so I just started doing a bunch of spin attacks because I was just so relieved at having been done with this glitch. But yeah, so anyway, what you're supposed to do here is you just kind of find your way around this invisible fairy fountain. It's kind of hard because you don't have any visual cues, but once you find the loading zone, you'll just go right through, and as you see, we went from Great Bay to Ikana Canyon. So yeah, that's how Fairy Fountain wrong warping works. But yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, this was just so hard for me, and yeah, it took me 2 recording sessions of about a half hour each. So yeah, this glitch is really hard. I know I sounded like I was ranting a lot right here, and I'm sorry about that if that's a little annoying, but I just kind of wanted to accurately convey exactly what I felt about this glitch. But yeah, let's just get over with this, and let's move on to the next glitch. Back to the script. Next on the list is a very cool looking visual glitch using Zora Link's electric attack. As Zora Link, shield and press B to do the electric attack, then very quickly stop shielding and transform back into Human Link. If you were quick enough, you should see that the world has a fog effect on it now. For the best effect, however, do the electric attack while swimming and you can transform into Human Link without needing to cancel the attack first, leaving the world in a very deep blue fog. To cancel the glitch, just do the electric attack again, spin attack, talk to Tattle, play the inverted Song of Time or Song of Double Time, or enter a loading zone. This is a great way to make the game look a lot more eerie. It kind of gives it that creepypasta effect. Here, take a look. I think a really good example is to try this at Ikana Canyon during sunset. The fog will look black, making it feel way more unsettling than usual, especially since the music starts to fade out around this time. I actually think the place that looks the best with the fog effect is Snowhead. Here's before the fog, and here's after. It makes it look like it's actually in a snowstorm. This is one of the few cases where I think the out of the water method is actually better looking than the swimming method, and that's because the fog is a little bit more gray, which matches with the snow better. Don't get me wrong, the blue fog is all well and creepy, but I think that for the environment, gray is just a lot more fitting. Anyway, I highly recommend trying this glitch in different areas just to see how they look like. It's super easy to do and it looks really cool. But enough about this glitch, let's move on to a big glitch this time. This next glitch is a far better way of wrong warping than the Fairy Fountain warp. However, you must be on a new save file in which no owl statues have been activated. Once you turn back into Human Link, get a bomb bag and some bombs. If you go into West Clocktown, you should see an owl statue past the loading zone. This isn't the same owl statue as before, however, it's just an aesthetic used for continuity between West and South Clocktown. However, it is a real owl statue, so we can take advantage of that. Get ISG on this sign, and then get up onto this planter here. In first person view, angle yourself like this, then turn around and start hovering. After a few moments, you should be out of bounds and past the loading zone. Now just backflip back to the ground and activate the owl statue. As a bonus, you can see how it looks like to enter a loading zone from the wrong side. Anyway, once you activate the owl statue, go to the southern swamp and learn the Song of Soaring. Now because we activated an owl statue, when we play the Song of Soaring map will appear, but because the statue we activated technically doesn't exist, no statue will be selected. Instead, the game will place the cursor somewhere on the map depending on where it was on the pause screen map. Here's a list of what would be selected on the Song of Soaring map, depending on what we selected on the pause screen map. Keep in mind that on the pause screen map, you can only select areas that you've been to already. So if we place the cursor on Deku Palace on the pause screen map, it'll place it on Mountain Village on the Song of Soaring map. Now we can just confirm our destination and we will warp there. Now that we've been to Mountain Village, we can select it on the pause screen map and repeat the process to go somewhere else. Now I should mention that while you're on the Song of Soaring map like this, do not move the control stick as this will crash the game. Aside from that, there are a couple of other things to note as well. Placing the cursor on Stone Tower will show the cursor at the bottom of the screen and say Stone Tower, then cycle through a couple of names and stop on Zora Cape, but it's actually Dungeon Entrance and selecting it will softlock the game. And the last thing to note is that, interestingly enough, L and R can also be selected, with R sending you to Great Bay Coast and L just glitching everything out. All in all, this is a pretty cool way to get around in this game early on, but keep in mind that by activating any owl statue, it will cancel the glitch entirely, and if you save afterward, it'll be impossible to do this glitch again unless you delete your save file. Wow, I think I spent a lot longer explaining these glitches than I probably should have, but yeah, this video's gone on for long enough, so I'm gonna end it here. There's still many more glitches I want to show you guys, so I am going to make a part 3 pretty soon, so, stay tuned for that if you want to see it. But yeah, if you liked my video, then a like would be greatly appreciated, and if you really liked my video, then a subscribe would be amazing. Of course, if you didn't like it, then that's alright too, you can leave a dislike, or tell me about it in the comments, or heck, you don't even have to do any of that, honestly. If you just watch this video, that's enough for me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna make part 3 soon, hopefully, and until next time, guys, I will see you later.